Truck it off.
It's Sunday, December 14th, and you've tuned into the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6. Currently, you're listening to WeP2 Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Together we share a mission, remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom. Freedom secured by the brave men and women who have worn our community and nation's uniform. Stay tuned for We Got Your 6 at 6. Now playing on WeP3 Radio, Scotty Hastings featuring Lee Brice and Dolly Parton with The Last Shots Fired.
It was almost dawn. I died with a grave shot in my heart. Say a prayer for peace for every fallen sun. Set my spirit free. Let me lay down my gun. Sweet Mother Mary, I'm so tired.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it off.
Conquerors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it off.
Oh, good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project, and I am here with Mark and Frank, and tonight we've got some amazing guests coming in. We are here with our We Got Your 6 at 6 show that we bring to you every Sunday night at 1800 Central Time, and we feature some guests that want to share things with you. And this week we're blessed. I mean, we have so much going on that is a blessing right now. We are blessed with Conrad Weaver coming in tonight. He's an award-winning documentary filmmaker. That would be how I best have found him. He's also a podcast host, a speaker, a producer, and a director. And then we will have music with Music Allen, but I like to call him Michael. With Michael Allen. Sorry, Michael. He's been here before, and we loved him so much that we asked him to come right back. We certainly could not do this without our sponsors. They are amazing in person and being. And so we want to thank right now Derek Iozio with his Catch 22 peer support group. He's busy on Sunday nights with his groups. Sunday nights, Monday mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, this guy, if you need anything, you call the Godfather. You can't have him though. He's our Godfather. So he's a great guy. Thank you. He's already been in here to say hello tonight, and then off he goes to do his thing, and then maybe he'll be back. Then we have Operation Texas Strong with Bobby and Peggy Kretzinger. I got to tell you a little story. They give away RVs to homeless vets, and these RVs that they give away have been donated to them for this program. They are so amazing. I was talking to him on the phone one night, and things had just gone crazy busy, and they'd gotten these amazingly well taken care of RVs that were donated. He just said, "It just done blowed up, Andrea. Just done blowed up, and I got to think about things before I can move forward." And so it was a crazy busy time, and they are all put back together and in order. They've got a little campground. They've got a camp store. You could have trouble not finding what you need there because they've got it for you. And with that, I would like to thank all of our sponsors, our guests, and listeners. And before we dive into this week's show, I'd love to have you take a moment to join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the
It is time, folks. It is time. It is December 14th, and we are here with We Got Your 6 at 6. Let's go! Wah, wah. That's not the way it's supposed to work. We're supposed to be on the screen already. What's going on, Eichmann?
There's hi.
Oh, everyone's here.
Here you are.
Woo, woo, woo. People that get to listen to the podcast don't know that we have a very handsome and pretty line, and then we got me and Frank at the bottom. So that's the two. And Frank definitely is the one that lifts the lower level up. So I appreciate you. Thanks for being here, Frank. We are the land of the brave, folks. I don't know. That's what I got out of that intro with Dave Bray. We get and are so blessed. We're going into now. You know what? The news told me the other day that this is the happiest time of the year. Okay, for some, sure, it's holiday season. I get it. I want to enjoy it, but why does it have to be around the holiday that makes it the happiest time of year? And do they take time to realize this is the time of year where some of our brothers and sisters struggle the most? They are or haven't been home. They are or they've lost people during this time. I mean, everyone has, but it hits a little bit different when you're dealing with some of the things and issues of PTSD and dealing with loss. And you know what? Sometimes this loss isn't like a physical loss. It's the loss of time. It's the loss of all the stuff. And you know what? Our veterans and our first responders aren't on a bed of money, so to speak. And so they're out there protecting your life and your liberty and your property. And they don't make a lot doing it. And none of them complain about it. They don't have their hand out saying, hey, give me more and more and more. No, don't give me a break. Everyone wants a little bit more. But they are the ones running into buildings. They're the ones holding the hands of those of our loved ones that are taking their last breath. And they're the ones that go out and get spat on because they're enforcing the rules that some of us don't like. And so that's why we're here. We got your 6 at 6. That's why the People's Patriot Project is here. But we've got two amazing guests tonight. Fitting, we have Conrad Weaver, who has directed and put together a program and does a lot of things. I can't figure out the piece of when you are a veteran, a first responder, and or a person that fits the niche of supporting and helping those. Your plate is over full, and again, you don't complain about it. You just get her done. And Conrad Weaver is one of those guys. He's coming to us with PTSD 9/11 movie. And so it's awesome having you here, Conrad. And then we got Michael Allen, again, a brother we've had before. If you're out following musicians that get her done, this is the guy that's getting her done, man. He's working it. And I see him everywhere. It's amazing. He's already on WP3 Radio, but we're going to be loading up 3 more songs tonight. And then also I told him, let's get your catalog over here and get it all up so everyone can hear your stuff on WP3 Radio. And you can go do his streams. You can go do his YouTube. You can go to Spotify and get all those pieces. I'm coming off a high, and we kind of want to abbreviate our show tonight without abbreviating our show tonight because we want to get the information out. But we've been super busy, but we got to get some of the work done. We're a working group, and that's something we tell our board all the time. Right now, we're going to slide into a segment that we call Check Your 6. Everyone's got a device. You can be really cool like mine and have the crest on there and show everyone the beacon if you wanted to. If you need it, get a hold of me. I'll get it to you. But Check Your 6 has 2 pieces. First of all, you got to check yourself. am I safe? Am I good? Do your battle checks in the world of the military. They teach you, man. You get into a space and you feel a zing, a zapper, or something else. You got to check yourself because you may not have someone next to you to be able to check you. So you got, am I good to go? Am I good to go? Hey, 10-4, good buddy. I'm good to go. And I'm going to continue the mission. If you're good to continue the mission, we're going to go on to step B. But if you're not good to continue the mission, then you got to reach out. Someone may not notice. And if that's the secret, then that's a problem. So if you think you need to make it a secret, you need to get hold of somebody. You need to get hold of the People's Patriot Project. You can get hold of a few of buddies. You can dial 911. You can do the first responder, 988, and you can get yourself support. That is essential. The next piece is you're going to reach in. Someone's buzzing me right now. Oh, okay. We'll answer that question in a minute, Miss Eichmann. We need you to text onto a text line or a message line or someplace and say, hey, I'm just checking in on you. Or, hey, how you doing? Well, it doesn't matter. It's your world. It really fits the branding really well if you business check your 6. And you're going to copy that and you're going to paste that into 6, because that's check your 6. You're going to paste that into 6 different people in your contact. And you're going to send it. Boom. We're with you, folks. Right now, the math adds up really quick. I'm seeing 140 in our live. We get about 1,700 to 7,000 during the podcast. Times 6. Wow. How fast does that grow? A lot of people go to their end because they didn't know anyone cared. Take a moment. Conrad Weaver, who are you? Tell us your mission.
That is a loaded question. Who am I? I can go a million different directions. Well, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a grandfather, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a podcast host, I'm an adventurer, because I love going on adventures, and I love helping first responders. But it wasn't always this way. I've produced documentary films for the past 15 years, and as one film leads to another, it landed me with first responders. And when I started working on PTSD 911 back in 2019 was really when I first started formulating the idea for this, right before COVID. And I had been hanging out with some first responders through a previous film, through Heroin's Grip, a story about the opioid crisis. But when I landed into this film and got into it, and now I've been into it now since, late 2019, I've gone all in. And I work exclusively now with first responders all across the country, even around the world. And through the film came out in November of 22, and it is still going strong. We had 17, we'll have one more screening next week, so 18 screenings this year. I already have about 9 or 10 in the works for next year. I mean, we're 3+ years out, and it still has legs, and it's just amazing what has been going on with this. Thousands and thousands of people have come to our screening events and seen the film, and even more tens of thousands have seen it on Amazon, on our Amazon channel. And we actually have a really strong audience over in Great Britain. Have had tens of thousands of people over there see it, so that's been really cool. But for me, I love working with first responders because first responders take care of us. They take care of our communities. And every single community in our country has first responders. And so oftentimes the communities, the leadership in the communities doesn't take care of those first responders. And it's my mission to correct that in some way. So that's kind of who I am.
Outstanding. And he does have a movie out, PTSD 911. Exciting, amazing stuff. Andrea's got some feedback on it she'll give later. But then we'll get back more with Conrad. Thank you for being here, brother. We're excited to hear more. It's awesome to see a passion in that world. I don't get why mathematically, folks, this is the way it works. Roughly 3% of our country is lined up or serving in the military, and roughly 2% of our country is first responders, which blows me away when you have 600 million first responder calls a year, and we have roughly under 30 million first responders. That's fire, EMS, fire, EMS, and police, and that mathematically can't cover the bases. But yet, we have less than 90% of our country living comfortably, laying their big fat heads on the pillows of freedom, not worrying how, when, where, why they got where they're at. And, hey, I can go drink my Mocha Moo Fracciolacha coffee drink whenever I want, how I want. You can go literally dine in or have whatever you want delivered to your front porch these days. Zero concern about the men and women that give you the opportunities to do this. And yet we've got so many. It's hard to get into this and say we have so many struggling, because we don't have so many struggling, but we have some struggling. None of them are broken, and we're not here to fix any of them. We're here to support them. We just need to find the supports. But we'll get more with Conrad. I get pretty compassionate, and I'll hop up on the box here and start yelling and screaming about we're not doing enough. That doesn't get the job done either. So, Michael Allen, thank you for being here, brother. Tell us more.
Mark, thanks for having me back, man. I appreciate it. You guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you
cool.
Good.
Man, so Michael Allen, husband, father, Green Beret. I've been in the Army for 18 years now, so I'm knocking on retirement's door. Don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. And the only thing I've ever been passionate about other than my military service is music. So I have been writing music for probably 25 years. Never really shared it publicly. A year ago, just over a year ago now, I was deployed. I was on the team house roof. I bought a cheap little guitar in Lebanon, and the guys came upstairs and they're like, man, play some of your stuff. And I was like, thinking they're just going to make fun of me, So I started jamming. They loved it. They're like, dude, that's really good. You should share it. So I came home, and it's been almost a year now since I finally started my social media and stuff. But put some music up. I'm close to Nashville, played an open mic that led to writers rounds and showcases. And I just had my first headlining show this past Friday down in East Nashville. So the goal really for me with my music is to share my experiences. Not just military service, but life in general. But I know we kind of talked backstage earlier about being an open book. I'm an open book, and I believe that I need to be able to share my stories, so that other people know they're not alone, because there's a lot of people that are going through the same stuff that I have. So it's been good, man. The feedback that I've received from the veteran community and civilians alike, just giving them an inside look at kind of more of the dark side of service. I'm more of a grunge late 90s alternative artist. I don't play the country patriotic theme songs. That's not my vibe. There's a place for that, but I'm trying to tell the other side of the story, and it's been getting a lot of really good feedback. So
it's awesome having you, brother. Let's rock with one of your first entries. What do you want to roll with?
Man, let's just play Blood.
Blood. Any lead in?
I think this song speaks for itself, to be honest with you.
All right. Here's Michael Allen with Blood.
His life from him. of the round as his body falls limp to the ground. Watch him take his last breath as I've sentenced him to death. Now I've got blood on my hands. I'm begging God, oh God, cleanse my sins. It all started that day that I signed my life away. Shook the devil's hand. His name was Uncle Sam. It was written in blood, my name carved into a stone. Should've known right then I was never coming home. 'Cause I've got blood on my hands. I'm begging God, oh God, cleanse my sins. Yes, I've got blood on my hands. I'm begging God, oh God, cleanse my sins. I've got blood on my hands. I'm begging God, oh God, cleanse my sins. Yes, I've got blood on my hands. I'm begging God, oh God, cleanse my sins. Was I just a sinner or a pawn in his plans? I felt just like a weapon in the palm of his hands. Was I just a sinner or a pawn in his plans? I felt just like a weapon in the palm of his hands.
That was Michael Allen, Blood. Who is your, and I know it's not primary. We've done this long enough to know that there's not just one influencer in the world of music. Who do you look up to as a musician?
Oh man, singer wise, like Lane Staley, Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder, those guys, like those late 90s, early 2000s is where I draw a lot of inspiration from. Yeah.
There was a lot of passion in that lyric. I felt a lot of this is it. It's obvious. Here's the evidence. I don't want to draw away from that conversation, but did you listen to much Dave Matthews in the day?
I did, man. So when I first started playing acoustic guitar, like I played a bunch of Dave. I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan for sure.
I just kind of felt a little Dave
That's
Matthews.
cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. I man, he's a legend. I appreciate that. I'll take it.
We are switching stuff up a little bit tonight, Frank. Sorry, we're gonna push your segment a little bit later. I thought we had a really cool story about yesterday. What was yesterday? Yesterday was wreath laying day for wreaths across America, and we just happened to be the host or the curators for the third largest cemetery in the United States, National Cemetery, Fort Snelling. Andrea, I've known you for 10 years now, but we're going to call you Andrea now. Andrea, you want to share a little bit of story about yesterday?
I actually would love to. I was in the background here trying to throw a little video together, and I didn't do so well because we had some cool photographers this year. They were newer to the Reads Across America thing, but they're a study of what would you like us to take, and I said, we had a list of things, of course, and then I said, whatever pulls you emotionally, go take it. And so I was just looking through. We had the Patriot Guard help us unload on Friday. We had our crew. You guys, we have some new people on our crew. It just happened in the last week or so. And they all showed up, and we unloaded a truck Friday morning. And then we set those all up for the grave-specific volunteer-placed people. And then those volunteers come a little early on Saturday morning. It was cold on Friday. A little snow fell. And while I might find that annoying, it surely does make for some amazing photos. And it really does capture the moment when you see those photos. And then on Saturday, well, I really didn't sleep Friday night. So it was really early Saturday morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was up and all I could think was, we have negative 34-degree wind chills forecasted. Are we even going to get all the wreaths off the trucks? We had 3 big trucks coming out for Saturday. And last year we had 6,000 volunteers, and we ran out of wreaths in like 25 minutes. And this year I'm like, shoot, what do we do with all the wreaths that don't get placed? I don't have room. You can put them in my backyard. I probably still don't have room. So we are Minnesotans, and Minnesotans are quite hardy, way hardier than me. I'm born and lived here all my life, but I really don't like the cold. And so the cemetery was packed. We even created a whole entire online broadcast, and I put out message after message. Don't get out of your car. Tune into this radio station. Tune into any one of our Facebook platforms. Stay in your car. Watch the ceremony, and when it's done, you can go get wreaths off the trucks, and no rushing, no pushing, no fighting, no running anyone over. That's a big piece. And people still came because you know what? That's where it is, right here. They want to be here to support all those people laid to rest, all those families that are there for those people that are laid to rest. And it just is the most incredibly touching thing every year that we do this. And so I would like to say there were probably 3,000 volunteers that still came out in that weather. We had some. We didn't want anyone that's super sensitive to the cold, the older, the super young, anyone who's got issues with breathing and the air and whatnot, frozen fingers and toes. That crap happens real fast. And so it really was an amazing turnout. Our truck drivers, from the guy Friday morning with TA dedicated to the DART, Walmart, and Bay and Bay. Bay and Bay came Friday. The other 3 came Saturday. And okay, I tried to get one guy out of the cemetery. He was in a real skinny street, and there was really no good turn. So I thought if we went to the very back, there'd be fewer people and we could get a good. That was a horrible idea. I got him stuck like 3 times. Here I am with my green light trying to be like, I don't know. Do you want me to tell you to go forward or backward? Because you're a big truck. And so learning, all kinds of learning. He got out, but those drivers are amazing. They all sent notes talking about how amazing it was. Our Sea Cadets who maintained orderliness at the trucks. I put out a rule about taking 1 wreath at a time. That was before the forecast. And then our motorcycle club groups came as the security. And I think it was a joke, but one of the guys was telling me some old ladies fighting with them out at one truck. He needed security. I'm like, are you serious? You're only supposed to text if you're serious. So I was like, can someone send one of the guys? Anyway, it was just in jest. So it was amazing. The wreaths are all put out. They're a lot more spread out than usual. We only get 20,000 wreaths, and we have 198,000 veterans, and then another 70,000 spouse and family. So anyway, it was an amazing day. Thank you all, everybody from top to bottom. I'll talk more about it tomorrow when it's our show. But thank you, all of you that came to Fort Snelling to help out yesterday. You guys were amazing, and I can't say enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I wanted to hear the good story.
Oh, shoot, I have the good story right here. I can throw
You
that.
guys have time to hear a good story?
It's not long at all. Okay. So I got several amazing emails. Oh crap, I just read this to Peterson a minute ago. And honestly, every year, you usually only hear the bad experiences, and they want you to fix it. And it's very difficult to fix it when it all happens so quickly. But I had a gal send me. Now, this gal she's in charge of some Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts from a small town. They were amazing fundraisers, for one. And they were, then they showed up. They showed up today or yesterday. And so I have to just find. So Vicki leads this. She sent a note. She said, Andrea, thank you so much for all your help the past few months answering all my questions. I asked John, other than it being cold, how things went. And he mentioned that it went well and he would like to do it again next year. But I would like to share one event that happened to the kids. They were working on finding their first grave site. So they helped us with the grave specific. So they have to find the section and then the site number and the name, and they match it. And then they do the thank you and place the wreath. They were working on finding their first grave site, and we got to the area. There was a lady that was very emotional at a site. After she left, John mentioned that this is the site where we need to lay our first wreath. I did see in the notes if there was one there already to place it nearby. As we were about to leave, the couple came out, took our picture, thanked us for everything, and asked if we could lay a wreath at another headstone, which we did, which it was right next to him. As I was getting ready to find a way to send a note stating thank you and sending a picture, I was shocked to see that the first stop the kids had was the Border Patrol agent that was shot in Vermont earlier this year. It was an honor for the family to ask us to lay a wreath at his site. I am hoping that we continue to do this event and also educate the kids on the importance of us. And those of you that might not know, Wreaths Across America is all about honor, remember, and educate. And what an amazing tribute to the education of young minds that was. They were all very touched, and I can't wait to see those pictures. So, yeah, that's pretty good for those kiddos.
That one tugs at the heartstrings. Knowing that our youth who don't get a chance to see the real men and women in action and get a chance to lay a tribute to someone that has laid it all on the lines for them. It's awesome to see those pieces of growth. We had some people come out that were pretty nasty in the past about how things were broken and how they needed to be fixed. And Andrea did an amazing job of drawing these people in and saying, hey, come help us plan. And I know of at least 2 conversions of people that said in last year that, oh, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to do more. And they showed up to help us this year, which thank you. We won't throw your name under the bus. Boom. But as they walked away this year, they made the statements of, oh my goodness, we never knew how much this took. And so remember, if you're not in the battle, you don't know what's going on. That's the reality. You don't know the perspective. We're watching some of this stuff going down on our streets in America right now, and everyone has an opinion how it should work and how it should happen. If you're not there and don't know, these men and women didn't sign up to do some of this stuff, folks. It's just an order, and you are scrutinized the thing that they're doing. It gets down a dirty road, man. We'll get through it. Conrad Weaver, you work on this stuff quite a bit, brother.
I do. Yes, sir. I get to talk to first responders just about every day. and through the podcast now. And then I was just down in Virginia for an event this past week and hanging out with a bunch of firefighters and police officers and even some dispatchers. In fact, we had a dispatcher at the event who came up to me afterwards, and here locally, and it made national news, I believe. There was a call that came into a dispatch center for a drunk raccoon. And if you guys saw that video, but I actually met the dispatcher who worked at that center, and she said, yeah, this raccoon had broken into a liquor store and helped himself to all the cheap bottles down the bottom, and they all broke. And they found him in the bathroom next to the toilet. Very funny story. And he was just laid out. He was gone. And they actually were able to get him some help then. But yeah, so I get to hang out with first responders, and you hear stories like that are funny and great, and you hear stories of tragedy. And so I kind of get all spectrums of it. And I love being in the space, and through, the film, we bring the film into a community and we show it and we have a discussion around wellness and what that means and what that looks like for a department. And all across the country as I travel, there's one thing that I hear over and over again, and that's a struggle with leadership that really understands, and sometimes leadership that really cares. And that is a problem when we have leaders that think that, PTSD or PTSI is just hooey. There's not too many who think that anymore, fortunately, but there are still some. They are still out there, and we're helping to change that conversation. Every time we bring the film to a community, it opens up that conversation. That's what I love doing.
It's a great. There's one call in my life that sits out of my head. Now, first of all, folks, when a first responder gets a call, when you get the bells, or if you get the pager, or if you get the call, or we now have different kinds of communication, there's a moment of heart rate. The first thing they teach you to do is walk, compose yourself, get your thoughts together. When you start running, and there's a time and place to run, but if you start running, then you lose intel, you lose information. You're not taking it in. We got a call that, and our heart rate's going, and we want to get there and help and protect and save. And the call was, we have a young man that had appendage stuck in a Gatorade bottle. And the appendage was south of his belly button. We'll just, let's keep it what it is. And I'm a guy. I would never want anyone to have that sacrifice in life. So, I mean, we're rushing, we're getting there. But we showed up on site, and literally there was nothing in the space. And we're scanning, we're walking, because, you got to look, you got to find out. And we look over, and there's a curtain moving over there, and someone was peeking and watching us. There was no call. I mean, there was a call, but that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous. It's humorous. We can laugh about it, but we just put 6 rigs out on the road. We probably didn't need 6, and it wasn't just our rigs. It was police and also EMS. We are an EMS fire program, but you're putting people's lives in danger on these little funny things that people are doing. I'm not trying to downplay, or because I'll be honest, we laugh at that one. That's one to laugh, but it does. I can't imagine. And of course, your brain goes so far, and you're trying to, well, what are we going to do when you get there? I'm like, well, I'm an officer, so I'm going to sit back and watch you guys do the work. That's what's going to happen. No, I didn't do that. Thanks for getting your word out there, Conrad. I appreciate that. It's appreciated and I bet there's a lot of first responders that get back to you and say, thank you for putting the message out there. Is that something?
I hear it all the time. And I hear it at these events where people come up and they say, I saw myself in that story. I saw myself in that firefighter or that police officer or that dispatcher. And when they can acknowledge that yes, me too, that was me as well. When they start having those kind of conversations. In fact, I had a fire chief come up to me after one of our events, and he was a younger fire chief, and he's like, I really didn't think I had a problem until I saw this movie. And what has happened from then, and he told me, he said, we've never talked about these things. We've never, ever talked about wellness, mental health issues in our department. So since then, he's been able to bring in a support group. He's bringing in mental health people to work with his guys and gals, and he's really helping to make a difference in that community with those first responders. And that's what makes me keep going, doing this thing, is when you have results like that, when someone decides to make a difference for their people. And here's a leader that stepped up and said, hey, we need to do something. And that's what the film does. It opens up those doors of conversation so that it makes it okay to talk about these things. It makes it okay to talk about PTSD. It makes it okay to talk about, man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with whatever the thing is that you're struggling with. Too many times, all of us, myself included, we downplay those things, right? And we don't want to talk about the struggles. But when we can be honest with ourselves, that's when we can begin, one, healing, and two, we can begin living the best life that we're created to live when we are honest with ourselves and honest with those around us, because then we can get support. If I'm too many times first responders, and I've been told this, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one who was having these kind of thoughts of suicide or having these kind of issues. I thought I was the only one. I talked to a police officer one time, and this person went off to a treatment center, a 30-day treatment center. And they came back and they said, I met another officer who had my same story. And it made me realize that I'm not alone. And when we can bring people together at an event, whether we have a screening event or an agency that they purchase the film and they use it as a training, when they can come together and begin to unpack those issues and unpack those stories, they can begin realizing that they are not alone and that together they can make a difference and they can help each other. And that's why what you're doing, in fact, I love what you're doing with Check Your Six, because at every single screening event that I host, that I go to, I have people take out their phones right there in the room, and I say, pick three people right now and send them a text, and do what you were just describing earlier in the show. And so I love that, and I think if we would do that on a regular basis, we could save lives, and we could make a difference. Because I love it when people send me a text and say, hey, how are you doing? I love that, and it makes a difference. It keeps me going. And when we can do that for others, I think it'll make a difference.
You're the director guy. Will you help us put together like a 10-second little that we can send out like to our friends? We take in every week. I'd like to do it every day. But you send 6 of those out every boom, little video. Hey, thinking about your brother. Boom, here we are.
Yep.
And
it's all it takes. And sometimes, in fact, I did some videos for a while. I started sending videos, and I would just record it, just hold my phone up and record it, because those personal videos like that, that's what makes an impact. When my buddies, when Todd or Maddie or Desiree or some of the other folks that are in my film, when I send them a message and remind them, just, hey, I'm thinking about you. Let's talk sometime. Man, what that does for someone, you just never know. You just never know what, I heard a story one time about a person who was on the brink of suicide. In fact, she was standing on a cliff, and this is a very well-known person. I won't go into who it was, but when she was standing there ready to end her life after just having the world at her fingertips for the last year, someone sent her, a friend called her right there, was thinking about her and called her, and it saved her life. And so you just never know what that call or that text message will do.
how has this worked? The two-part question. How has this worked impacted your personal life? And then what has that done to either foster or be a catalyst to the next step, or I mean, I know where this is going to go. So that's,
Yeah.
what are the two parts?
It's done. It's really transformed my whole life. It really has, in a great way. One, it's made me realize that I need to do better taking care of me. And so I've been on this journey for myself to improve myself, to be the best version that I can be. I only have one life. I'm only here for this, however many years God allows me to be here on this earth. And so I want to give my very best to that time that I have. And so I get up every morning early. I take a 2-mile walk every morning, even when it's bitterly cold. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be like close to, in the teens or less. I mean, you guys in Minnesota think that's nothing, but here in Maryland, that's something. I'm going to go out and walk. I do my devotional time. I'm a person of faith, do my devotional time. I do a workout, and then I read voraciously. I build myself up. Because I know if I'm going to be the best that I can be for the people that I work with, I've got to be the best of me to start with. So that's one thing it's done for me. The second thing it's done, as a part of this, I had the film, and I knew the film probably doesn't have legs forever. I hope it does, but it probably doesn't. So I've been working on some things in the back end. One, I have the podcast, the First Responder Wellness Podcast, that we're now, I forget how many episodes in, it's over 100. And I have amazing guests on there. Got some lineup for next year that is just really rock star guests that I'm really excited to present. Been doing that because I want to continue the conversation, to bring people to the microphone, to share solutions. There's a lot of people who have podcasts that tell stories, which is great. I'm bringing people that have solutions. And so when people listen to this show, they can get ideas for their own agency or for their own individual. But what it's also done, I mentioned earlier that I hear this thing about leadership. And so I have I'm going through the John Maxwell leadership program right now to become a certified trainer and coach in the John Maxwell program. John Maxwell is one of the top leaders in the world. He's written more leadership books than anybody else in history. And so I'm developing workshops, I'm developing masterminds, master classes on leadership, and we're focusing on first responders. This week, I'll be meeting with a top command staff at a local police department, showing the film and talking about leadership, but we're going to be rolling these things out in the future. We're developing a leadership summit we're going to do for first responders. And we're going to continue the work to help first responders be better. That's my mission, is help first responders, and especially first responder leaders, to be better, to be able to lead better. Because when we have better leaders, we have better agencies, and we have healthier people. That's what we want. And then that saves lives. Because when you have good leaders that take care of their people, that alone can save lives. And that's what I want to help do.
You're speaking our language. This is the thing that we talk about all the time. I was texting just now, and I said we need to partner, is my text. And do you do this by yourself, or you got a team you're working with?
So right now I've just launched a new company called First Responder Wellness Solutions, and I have a partner there. His name's Gary. He lives out in Kansas. He's a friend of mine. He's been in sales for kind of all his life. But then I also work with some of our advisors on the film, or on this new project, are people who I've worked with in the film. Dr. Phil Bequee, who's a former Australian, also a musician, amazing guitarist. He's on my team, one of my advisory team. In fact, he's helping to put together this master class that we're launching in January. And then I have Chief Neil Gang, who's a police chief, retired now, out of Pinole, California. He's also on my leadership team. I got some other people that are on the team that are helping to develop these things. And so we're going to hit 2026 running, and it's going to be a crazy busy year. But I'm really excited about what's developing, and looking forward to partner with anybody who wants to partner with us if we can partner to help make leaders and help make first responders better. That's what we want to do. And for better or for worse, you can also find me on TikTok. that's a thing now. So I've got about 1,700 people that follow me there on TikTok. It's under First Responder Wellness. So you can find me there. So I post a little video, little inspirational video every morning, so you can see those and get a little jolt of Conrad every morning. So
That is, it makes me giddy, knowing that there's someone out there that has this passion, has this drive. Folks, check out the trailer for PTSD 911.
I went to a really dark place in my mind where suicide became an option. I was going through a divorce. I had lost a lot of relationships with people, and I was isolating.
While I was trying to heal from the traumas that had put me in the position that I was in, I suddenly lost all the support of all the guys I worked with.
Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired on Bolton Roof.
About 15 minutes in, I'm just listening, and all you can hear is just people screaming. I was only 2 years into my career with Boston at this point.
I was so hypervigilant, and I couldn't shut my brain off.
I remember the moment I was like, okay, I was up all night. It was just trauma after trauma after trauma. You know, the novelty of the job wore off really quick.
I couldn't think of how to get help without ruining my job.
There's a stigma in the profession that creates a barrier, a stigma in their agencies that prevents them from getting the help they need.
I didn't have somebody to talk to. I didn't have somebody that understood.
There was a part of me that said, okay, pick up the phone, call this person. This is how you're going to get yourself out of this skillfully and safely.
I look back at that period of my life, and I just felt so completely, utterly isolated.
My ego wants to stop me from doing that. It wants to tell me, you got this. You don't need to let anybody know that this is going on.
And that's why I didn't know where to turn, and I beat myself up because I thought, I am such a mess, and I'm the only one.
I have 4 years till retirement, and I gotta be okay, and I gotta make it.
Right now, our profession is being challenged. We're going through a really, really difficult season. There's no time like the present where officer wellness has to be your number one priority. We have to do a better job as leadership in our profession to understand that is what we're dealing with, people. And I think it's really important that is our number one resource, and that it has to be our number one priority moving forward if we want to change this profession.
We're just coming into our second year now of really teaching structured training in wellness, mental health to the Firefighter Academy. Okay, I'm open to trying something different. If you'd told me 4 years ago or 3 years ago I was doing yoga, I'd have laughed in your face. If I could plant seeds throughout the state of wellness, it'll get out there and start permeating and changing the culture.
Man, it's so much better when you have really amazing people in your life that you can walk through this stuff with. You don't have to do it alone.
Conrad, I'm a little bit embarrassed, only in the fact that I told you at the beginning before pre-show that I hadn't seen this video or seen your movie. That was one of the first things I chose to watch back in 2022, and I can't say it altered me because I've seen that stuff. I've been involved with that stuff.
Sure.
But I immediately started reaching out to each of the people in your stream because I wanted to know more about their story. And not all of them have a great ending.
No, they don't. Right.
There's a couple that aren't in the business anymore because of the torment and what they've dealt with and the pieces and
and these three individuals that we featured in this film, they all had really difficult backgrounds. All of them had very high ACEs scores, adverse childhood experiences, and that was a big contributing factor to a lot of their trauma and their PTS. But all of them dealt with not only the things that they experienced, the calls, but they also dealt with organizational trauma, from leadership. And so it was a combination of all those things. And I think there's so many first responders out there. And like I said earlier, everywhere we go, people say, man, I saw myself in that film. I saw myself in their story. My story is their story. Their story is my story.
And again, back to my conversation at the beginning, they're not all broken, folks. They're not broken.
No. I met some amazing first responders out there that are doing just spectacular work, helping others, and they're not broken. But I've never met a first responder that hasn't had to deal with stuff.
Sure. Yeah. No, I deal with stuff. I mean, it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I burnt my knees off. Yeah. Did that.
Well, in the film, Dr. Phil Bequee, he has a doctorate in psychology. So he kind of explains some of this stuff. And he says, you have two people on the same scene. They can have two very different responses to that same scene because of what they bring to the scene, their history.
That is such a crazy conversation because that is regularly a lesson I teach my students.
Mm-hmm. And
it's about perspective.
Yep.
I put a 6-sided dice out on the table. I say, what do you see? They tell me, and of course I build a relationship. I'm like, that's the dumbest answer I ever heard in my life. It's clearly a 6, and the bell goes off in their head. And they're like, Mr. Peterson, you're looking at your perspective.
Mm.
I'm like, I know, right?
Hmm.
I go, you can have 4 people standing on 4 sides of an intersection looking at the same accident and come back with different information.
Yeah.
That information is based on your training, your understanding, your knowledge, your growth, who taught you, your media. We're not talking news, your family, your pastor, your friends, your music, your video games. All that helps build the media set of knowledge you have. And again, what you said, we were finding out even with our veterans, the stuff that they're dealing with isn't service-related stuff. It's the stuff they had prior to service. And when you're putting 17 to 22-year-old young men and women into service, now to be big boys and big girls right now immediately and not have the compassion piece of support, then you're going to deal with stuff along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a challenge and so many first responders get into the business for being a helper because perhaps they weren't helped when they were young.
My first degree was in psychology, counseling and psychology, and 90% of the field are people that wanted to help and support themselves in the process. Mm-hmm. That's what first responders do.
Yep. And so if you come to the table with all that baggage, can I call it that, and you haven't dealt with that, it's going to show up. Maddie talks about this in the film. They would go to a call at a seedy hotel and there was kids in there that weren't being taken care of. And it took him back to when he was 5, and that's what broke him. Along with other things as well.
There's so much. Conrad, we got to have you on more. We need to talk more. We need to do more. We got to build more. We need to go farther. We need to build and grow. Gosh, we're going to be like stray cats in your world now. We're going to be rubbing on you. We're going to be coming, checking you out.
Bring it on.
What you got in the dinner bowl. Michael Allen.
Yes, sir.
I have a feeling I know where this is all going now.
Man, I feel like there's so much of this I can elaborate on. I just didn't want to chime in, but being in the Army for 18 years and 16 of those 18 years I've been in a leadership position. My first deployment was in the surge in Afghanistan, and it's so relatable to what the first responders go through as far as the trauma and the PTSD and stuff. And I'm a huge behavioral health advocate, but from a leadership perspective, like Conrad was saying, I like how he's like, I have to work on myself first, right? I'm a big, like, don't talk about it, be about it. I can sit here and like, oh, I want to help these people. I'm like, hey, go see behavioral health. But then I was like, well, I'm not even doing that, and I know I got some trauma. So for like the past 3 years, I've been seeing a behavioral health specialist, and I do the things like I quit drinking. I've been sober for almost 3 years. Lots of stuff to deal with my own trauma, but it's kind of funny. There's so much stuff to unpack. I wanted to caveat off of what you were saying, but the childhood trauma is crazy. I just started working with, like, specifically diving into trauma treatment with my behavioral health specialist. And she was like, oh, well, there's all these different methods. I'm not the doctor, but she starts asking me to just kind of list things off. And most of the stuff that I started with was stuff from my childhood. Like, by the time I finally got to the combat deployments and the traumatic events I experienced downrange, like, we're like 3 sessions in now, so it really does start there.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, 17 to 22, y'all sitting back and someone comes in and says, hey, I need you guys to go and check out your mental health and go check and talk to this person. Yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah, blah, blah. Let's go play Mortal Kombat. Let's go play some video games. They don't want to fill their time up with that stuff. And I totally get it. But then you get into 35, 34, 56 years old, and you're like,
Yeah. I guess for me, a lot of what, so I tell this story a lot. After 18 years in the Army, several combat deployments, I've been, operational for a long time. Like, I've lost more friends to suicide than I did to combat, like in, a firefight. And I hate to see that. I hate to even say it, but it's a reality. And another one of the guy that I was deployed with in 2012, it's been a couple years now, but it triggered me to go to behavioral health. He took his own life, and I was like, man, like, these guys, we were all in these situations together. And you were talking about perspective. We experienced the same things, and it affected all of us differently on different timelines. And there's other external stressors that, compound on that. But I was like, maybe I need to go get some help, and I'm glad I did, because I wasn't in a good place. And then I quit drinking when I went to get help. And now all these things that I thought I was okay with, I was not okay with. So that was a whole nother problem set that I had to work through. But yeah, it's a real problem, man. I think it's really cool what Conrad's doing. I have a lot of friends that are first responders. I like to, kind of share stories. And I will say one of the problems we're having with leadership in, like, the military side is combat is kind of drying up. And a lot of the leaders that have the experience and that will advocate for behavioral health, they're retiring or getting out. But you still have senior leaders that don't have the experience, right? So they'll advocate for it, but it's really hard for them to understand or even empathize because they just haven't experienced it. And I would say it's probably an equal problem for first responders. Not all of them have had to go pull their trigger as far as a firefighter goes, or I'm sure, like, the EMS calls, like, all that shit is traumatic, but they're on the front lines every day. Like, they could be exposed to something every day, every shift. Like, you could see something extremely traumatic, whether it's a car accident, someone getting shot, a child getting, severely injured, all of those things. Training in the military is dangerous for what we do, but it's a controlled environment with a lot of risk mitigation. So it's less likely that they're going to experience something like that. But yeah.
And each shift, you don't know what you're going to get. You arrive at the station, or you sign in, and especially for the 911 dispatchers, you take a call and it's someone, in a shooting, or there's something else terrible going on. I've had dispatchers who told me, I heard the guy's last breath, and I couldn't do anything. I was on the phone, I couldn't do anything. And then the next call is someone complaining about the neighbor's dog barking.
Yep.
And so they have this range of these huge emotional swings. And, in fact, there was an event that happened recently that there was there was a death of some law enforcement officers and some of the dispatchers on there. I think almost all of the dispatchers on that shift have quit.
Wow.
Because it was such a traumatic thing. And so, whereas a firefighter, a police officer, they kind of maybe get an idea of what they're going to face when the call comes in. You're in the rig and you're heading and you're hearing over your headset, what's going on. But a dispatcher, they have no idea what's going to be on the other side of that phone call.
Well, and this is a piece that I'm going to go to a weird spot now, but this is a place where this is the most social, inclusive industry that's out there, because you don't care who that voice is or what that voice is or what flag they fly or what political party they follow. We want to save.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? When you talk about who's doing the saving, again, red, yellow, black, and white, they're all precious. I mean, it's everyone's wearing the uniform, and no one is doing a check in like the background. We're coming. We're coming. We want to be there for you. I got a whole nother narrative when I talk about how you got people that don't plan for their space and place, and they go to the beach and they're all happy, joy, but then they're upset when the lifeguard doesn't get there fast enough because, you're 18 beers into the fun time and your little one's out there drowning out into the ocean. That's our world doesn't plan for this stuff either. And that's a huge frustration. They all want the first responders, and they all want, which is, mind you, your police as well, folks. I'm going to put that out there. They all want them to do better and more, but where's their responsibility in the call and the action and the pieces? That's another show, another time. Michael, what are you working on right now, brother?
Man, I just dropped my EP. I guess I dropped it a couple months ago. The blood was on the EP, The War at Home. I just played that big show. I'm going to take the next couple weeks off for vacation because between still being in active duty and really trying to push the musician stuff to get it going before I retire, and being a father to a 7-month-old daughter, I'm exhausted.
Congratulations. I don't think you had a 7-month-old daughter when we had you on last.
I think I don't know if she was born yet. I don't know if it's been that long. I think it was maybe just before she was born, just after. Yeah. So it's been an adventure for sure, but it's cool. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Is there a time? I won't ask that question. I'm going to back off.
What's up? Go ahead.
When are you getting out of the military, and is there a reason why?
Man, so I'm just ready for what's next. I think I'm like very happy with what I've accomplished during my service. I've done the deployments. I've seen the combat. I've led soldiers. I got my Green Beret. Like I've done all the things. And I'm ready to go off on a new journey. Honestly, staying in the Army for me would be the easy choice. It would be the easy path. And I've never been one to do that. So now that I've kind of reached the pinnacle of where I can go, I could coast. I could do 30 years. I could do the command sergeant major thing, but I want to do something crazy and I want to shake things up and I want to use all this experience and I want to pursue music. And it's been going really well. Something else Conrad was saying too is just with the video or the music and the relatability. I share my stories right through music. And I know last time we played War Machine, but I'll play this song and it's a very military centric city up here and down in Nashville. And I've had people come up to me and they're like, man, I felt every word of that song like it was my own. Like a guy, he was in Iraq. He was a combat medic. I did 4 deployments. He's like, when you played War Machine, I felt every word of that like it was my song. It's similar to how Conrad said in his movie, people was like, that was my experience. So I can form those connections with people and I can let them know that they're not alone. And there is this macho man, Green Beret, stereotypical dude out there that like is comfortable pouring his heart out through music and relating to others and having these conversations, So, yeah.
Hey, Michael, I have an idea for you for a tour. So in 23, I decided to do something crazy for my documentary. I did a coast-to-coast tour of the film, riding a bicycle.
Nice.
I started in Astoria, Oregon, and rode to Ocean City, Maryland, and we showed the film in 14 cities across the country in 65 days. So there's an idea for you.
Yeah, I am. The plan is to build enough momentum and brand myself, and then as soon as I retire, I'm hoping that I'm like ready to start touring. So we'll see.
We had you on April 6, 2025.
Well, it was a month before my daughter was born then, yeah.
Episode 247. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah. We played War Machine and then the Fatal Affair. That's another one. So I just had my show, like the biggest show I played yet was this Friday. And the Fatal Affair is really about the internal struggles we have and the secrets we keep, from our loved ones about suicidal ideations. And I share a really detailed story with everybody in the audience to let them know, like, hey, if you're going through some stuff, you're not alone. But yeah, it's just, that was a good show, man. We had some really good conversations.
This is a good one too. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Gosh dang it. I have my brain is going a billion miles an hour.
Same.
What song do you want to go with, Michael?
Man, I feel like because we're on the mental health aspect, we could. Do you have the Fatal Affair still? Do you have that one pulled up? Or we could just we could do War Machine. Honestly, I'm trying to pitch War Machine to Conrad for when he makes his next war movie anyway.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, War Machine. And then maybe, do you want me to get Fatal Affair loaded up?
Yeah, we can.
I mean, we'll have 5 new songs for you today, and that's okay. We can pivot. You said pivot. Can we pivot? Yeah, I can pivot. We got you, brah.
You're the boss.
No, you're the boss. This is your show, brah. We got Michael Allen with War Machine.
They'll ship you off to a factory where blacksmiths work every day to mold you into a weapon. Oh, then stamp you made in US of A. They'll help you harden your senses until your skin becomes steel. They'll fill your mind full of ammo. Oh, then ship you off to war to kill. It's something you never asked for, something you can't quite explain. It's something you'll never understand, how a man becomes a war machine. How a man becomes a war machine. We fly on birds to our nest now, in the darkness of the night. Now this is where we will live. Oh, and this is where we'll fight. We spend hours playing chess, trying to stay one step ahead. If I see one wrong move on my board, I'll
Wow.
Michael Allen, War Machine. You know what? Because you prefaced the War Machine and then had the comment, I'm just like, this fits first responders as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have a lot of first responders that actually a lot of them, Spotify does your Spotify Wrapped thing at the end of the year. And they were sending me screenshots as like their number one song or in their top 5. Yeah. So I was like, man, that's super cool.
Your music is really solid, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
From the
not
heart.
wrong. You're not wrong, Conrad. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Frank, I don't want to dismiss the hard work you've done. Can we at least get you, I can't believe this happened story tonight?
Oh, yeah. Let's just do that one.
Are we waking you up right now?
Oh, I just ran up the stairs from putting the dogs downstairs. And I made it up in the time the song played.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hold on, let me pull this up. This was a good one. So, I think it was last week we talked about the Fabergé egg being auctioned off for $32 million. Well, it's funny how things work, because this time I was going through all the odd stories, and I came up with one, and it says police recover a swallowed Fabergé pendant after a 6-day wait for it to reappear. And so just think about that for a second. And where the heck was this thing at that it had to reappear? Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
The brilliant thief.
Cleaned up nice.
Yeah, well, it was green, and the picture's a little brown. But
apparently we're going to have a little advertisement in the middle of it.
This was in New Zealand, of all places. And the thief decided that he was cornered and he knew he was going to get captured. And so he swallowed this egg and the chain that it was on. And the police knew that he had it. So they locked him up and they just waited.
Wow.
And they gave him some things that might cause him to...
How many days did you say?
6. And
I'd hate to be the person that got that duty every day.
Yeah, whose job was that?
Well, the things they use for when you make spaghetti, and you
a colander.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a big one. And it caught it. And
why 6 days? I mean, I eat some.
Well, it probably got hung up.
It ain't taking 6 days.
It was stuck a little. Look at the chain on it.
Mean, you eat a little bit of corn and you're playing peekaboo the next day.
After they cleaned it up. And if you notice, there was that nice long chain there.
You talk about trauma for a first responder.
Yeah.
Well, the chain hadn't actually completely left.
Oh no.
Oh.
You've heard stories like this.
Oh, look, I need to get to bed.
Your dog eats a little tinsel during Christmas time or something. They tell you not to pull that stuff. I mean,
sometimes you just gotta reach down and take a hold of destiny and give it a yank.
Oh, yeah. Again, who signed up for that job?
Oh, boy.
I think his name... No, never mind.
This is a great story because of all the heavy stuff that we were talking about. This is great to laugh about stuff like this, and it's just cathartic, right?
Why I'm here, man.
us,
Well,
Frank.
the
Helps us.
picture was of thumbs, and it was like about the thumb size. I mean, that's.
I ain't going there.
Oh boy, Frank, you knew a lot of details, though. You read.
You should find that first responder and have him on the show next time.
But he's done dealing with that.
We're
Yeah.
in New Zealand. As
Oh.
long as he doesn't do a haka before he
There you go.
gives a story. I used to play rugby. That was the craziest stuff I ever saw.
How does rugby equate to this, Frank? I'm trying to put the pieces together right now.
Well, I just said that he was from New Zealand.
Oh,
and
New Zealand.
If we
Okay.
wanted to interview him, hopefully he didn't do a haka before he did the story. That's just, if you ever get a chance, look up a video, the New Zealand All Blacks. And before every game, they do this ceremonial dance. And it's just the craziest thing you never want to see.
It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
We actually made one for WP3, but I'm not. I thought it was kind of hokey, but
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the Indiana Jones movie where the guy takes out the big sword and he's swinging it around and doing all kinds of stuff. And Indiana Jones looks at him and says, I ain't got time for this. Bam.
Nope.
And shoots him.
I bet you wish that elephant story. I bet you wish he ate a few Fabergé eggs back in the
Yeah,
day.
well, if it was, I wouldn't have been hefting it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'd have been digging them out and put them in my pocket.
We have a note that Conrad needs to get rolling here. So, what's the next big piece for Conrad Weaver and what he's going to get done in life?
So the next big piece is we did a soft launch of First Responder Wellness Solutions, the new business and the website. And so we're kind of building that out. And we're just working on getting into first responder agencies and doing some training and teaching. And then this coming fall, we're developing a really high level first responder leadership summit. It's going to be invite only. You got to be on the list to be invited. And we want to bring first responders together and help them improve their leadership to become stronger, better leaders who take care of their people and who can make a difference, who can change the system, because the system is broken in so many places. And we want to help change that.
I kind of want to argue with you that it's broken. Andrew's mad at me because I'm arguing. It's I don't want to say it's broken. It's what they've always done. They haven't adapted to the real pieces of real life and the mental health needs, and I think we're getting better. I mean, we have this conversation a lot about this country is 250 years old. Show me another country that's done the things that it's done in 250 years.
Right.
Did we do it right in the beginning? No.
Mm-hmm.
Did our first responder and leadership and our military leadership do things right in the beginning? We're learning.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get the people kind of to move aside, get past themselves a little bit, get new leadership in there that has a mindset. And it can't be, this gets a little dirty, it gets a little messy, folks. It can't be like special interest groups or people that are in it just for tiny little nuances. It has to be an umbrella for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my piece. I mean,
all I want is I want people to look at themselves and say, how can I be the best version of me? How can I bring the best version of me to the table? That's what we need. And that's what we want to do.
Not only the best version of them, but how can that version of them tomorrow be better than it was yesterday?
Yeah. And it's not making huge changes.
No.
I think in 1990, there was a British cycling team who got a new coach. They hadn't won any cycling events, in history. They got a new coach, and he said this. He said, I want to change everything we do by 1%. I want to improve the uniforms that we wear. I want to improve by 1%. I want to improve how we pedal the bikes by 1%. Over the next 15 years, they won 6 Tour de France's. They won several hundred world championships because they improved everything by 1%.
I love it.
And so if we can improve ourselves, if I can improve me by 1% every day, how much better am I going to be next year this time?
It's taking the extra one more step. It's getting off the couch today. It's reaching out to a person today. It is, putting the beer to the side for a day. I mean, Michael has done that piece. He realized that was a vice in his life, and I'm only saying it because he said it live during the show today. It was one piece that he needed to adjust, and I love it. Thank you.
I encourage everybody to challenge themselves, and I've been working on this myself. So in October, I did a sober October. I don't drink a whole lot anyway, but I just said, you know what? I'm just not going to have any alcohol for the month of October, the whole month. And my wife and I both did it. And then in November, I did 100 push-ups every day, and I'm continuing that trend. I do 100 push-ups every day. And whether you can do, 100 or 200 or 10, do something. Challenge yourself every day and do it for a whole month. Just do it for a whole month, because you never know how you're going to be different at the end of the month. So I'm going to throw this out there, because that way now I'm going to have it on the record, and I'm going to be now holding myself responsible, and you can hold me responsible. In January, my goal is I've been wanting to pick up the guitar again. Michael, I'm a old hack. I used to play. And so and you've inspired me now too. I'm going to get my guitar out for at least 10 minutes every day and play.
Do it, man.
Because how much better will I be a year from now if I've done that every single day?
Significantly. And you have the unlimited resources with YouTube tutorials. So if you could learn probably a really easy song a day, and you will just continue to improve.
Yeah. I mean, I can play. I know most of the chords. I can do all that stuff. It's just I haven't played in a while, so the fingers are kind of stiff and, all that kind of stuff. But I want to get better at that. And so
it's crazy how good playing music is for your brain and the things it does. And real quick, I quit playing for years. When I quit drinking, I Googled, because I'm a Googler, how to be more present. And the first thing that came up was play an instrument. So I went and got the guitar out of the closet, and that's what has led to this, like where I'm at now, is just because I just wanted to be more present.
Wow. So I'm just laying this out there. Starting in January, I'm playing my guitar every day. Sometimes I'm not at home, but every day when I'm at home, I'm going to play my guitar.
Well, you got to post a video.
Yeah. No, I got it.
I will.
It didn't happen if there's no video.
If there's no picture, it didn't happen.
War Machine's only 3 chords, man. You learn that one first.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Hey, Conrad, if you run out of challenges, look up the deliberate discomfort challenge.
Okay.
That'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
Oh, what is scared to ask?
Do I need to look it up?
Well,
I'm a huge fan of that idea. In fact, my wife and I pretty regularly watch the guys from Yes Theory. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they have a whole motto of seek discomfort.
Yep.
And they travel around the world. They meet up with people and they say, "Hey, would you want to go travel the world with us tomorrow?" And they get people to say yes. And they've done some crazy, amazing adventures because people were willing to say yes to something that was so uncomfortable, that was so crazy, and it transforms their life.
Well, this was developed by a bunch of retired special forces folks.
Ouch.
It's
we love to suffer.
I watch Andy. He should probably start giving us some kickbacks because of many time I mention his name. But Andy Frisilla, who talks about being tired is part of the mission, being hurt is part of the mission, being involved is part of the mission. you're not going to get anywhere unless you experience those pieces. And sometimes your pain and discomfort, you take on too much of it because you're not willing to move through it. You just sit there and endure it.
You don't learn anything on the easy days.
Right.
You just
The
don't.
only easy day was yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
so
rushing anyone.
this brings me to my final thing that I want to talk about, and I'll let you go. So, I told you about my bicycle ride back in 23. We rode 3,400 miles, 65 days on a bicycle, 61 miles a day on average. And so I am actually finishing up a memoir book about that journey. So it's the story of our bicycle ride across the country and what I learned on a bicycle. And so I'm going to be releasing it sometime this coming spring, and it'll be available everywhere you can buy books. And I learned so much spending 65 days plus the 2 months of training ahead of that. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about what we're talking about, discomfort. I learned about discomfort. I learned that if, I can pedal 100 miles on a bicycle and do 5,000 feet of elevation if I have to. It's not comfortable. But because we did that in training, we were able to do 60, 70, 80, and 90 miles easy, coming across the country. And, every day, you get out. Every day you just get out and ride again. And once you learn that you can do hard things. Our culture today, especially the millennials and the younger generation, don't like to do hard things. But we can do hard things. And they can do hard things. You have to be willing to suffer a little bit. Because once you get through the suffering, that's where the joy comes. And you look back.
My favorite book for motivation is Dave Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. Man, what a beast.
I'm writing that down. So my challenge to everybody is get out there and do something difficult, because you'll appreciate it tomorrow. You'll appreciate it because and what you focus on today is where you end up tomorrow. You move in the direction of your focus. So if I focus on making improvements on my life a little bit, one step at a time, I'm going to get better. I'm going to be better tomorrow because of my focus today. And that's what we have to do.
Show name.
I got it.
Being comfortable.
Yep. Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on the program. I've really enjoyed this.
Thanks for
Michael,
being
it's
here,
great
brother.
to meet you.
You as well.
We're going to be in your ear, brother. We're going to be there.
Come on.
We're coming after you. We got
All
some.
right.
I got an easier idea than the bike ride. We'll just float from Minnesota on a paddle boat all the way down to Louisiana and stop every day and do a concert with Michael on top of the paddle boat. And then we can live video some PTSD stuff and then we can visit with people at every port during the day. I mean, then we can sit back and enjoy on our ride, and you can come and bring your guitar and sit, and we can play and strum and jam and see. This is work easier, not harder. That's what I say.
Well, hey, it's a big world out there. Why don't you just buy a sailboat and let's just go around the world with it? Huh?
You're not wrong. Okay.
I like to do hard things, but you won't catch me out there.
You were Army, right? You weren't Navy.
Conrad, you know you need to go. Thanks for
being
I
got to duck out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys are doing. All right. You guys take care.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, good night.
We keep talking. Do we even need to bring up like the game yesterday? I mean, it's
the game. Not
yeah,
even.
there was a game.
No.
Oh, it was a great game. Come on. That was
Was it a
great game I've watched in a long time.
It was a great game, but was it
good? But and I don't know what they paid the referee to keep the flag in his pocket on that interference in the end zone, but
yeah,
whatever.
I have not been able to watch much football this year. We're not letting my daughter look at the TV. So anytime she's up, like the TV's just off. And when she's sleeping, it's like, okay, it's time to get ready for bed.
Well, and you have been on fire just driving, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how. What do you have a team helping you out?
Man, I am my own team right now, and it is exhausting. But I know, like, I just believe that it's gonna pay off, dude. Like, this has been my first year on this journey of music. It started with an open mic, like a local open mic, just on a whim, and I can't tell you how many shows I've played in Nashville, how many new fans I've met, how many podcasts I've been on. It's been incredible, and I'm super grateful. And next year, like, I'm coming right out of the gate. I have 3 full band gigs planned in January. Like, I'm just trying to keep elevating so that I have all this momentum when I do retire in 2 years, that I like it's going where I need it to go.
Well, you're doing the work, and we need to celebrate that work, and we will promote you as much as we can and get you out there as much as we can. And we got some stuff that we're working on. Hopefully we can make it all work. And
appreciate it.
I know there's 1.5 billion people in your world that say the same thing every day, and we're just going to keep going. What is the next big? You already kind of summarized it just there. 3 major events coming up in January, full band. You're going to do that piece. You're going to raise this little one that we didn't know when we first met you.
Yeah, dude. So I'm finishing up another single in the studio. I'm going to release soon. I'm trying not to just write military-esque music. I need a larger fan base if I want to go viral, if you will, right? So I have a new song coming out probably mid to end of January. I'll release it. I'm excited about that. And then just booking more and more full band gigs. Hopefully traveling a little bit to start playing some shows, even if it's just acoustic stuff. I actually get a lot of fans just by playing acoustic sets, and they'll go stream my music afterwards. So yeah, just staying busy, man, doing a thing. And the first person I will hire if I ever get a deal or anything will be a social media manager, because I hate making content.
We never wanted to do a podcast. We didn't want to make content, and we got into it, and it was like organizations that are helping veterans and first responders.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know that. And then the amazing musicians that are singing the anthems of our country, being a veteran and first responder. We didn't have to make the content.
Dude, one of my favorite parts about this music journey is like having these conversations with other like-minded people. Most times it's a complete stranger. I'm just meeting you, and like we're just having really good constructive talks, and I enjoy that piece of it.
Well, you've been a blessing in our world, and we'll always be that stray cat that does the little nudging, trying to figure out, hey, reach down, let's do this thing. So,
man, if you ever hear of any events close by, like needing musicians or something, hit me up. If I can swing it, I'll fly out there and jam.
We're so close.
Well, we have a moonshine festival every spring.
Nice.
You gonna do that, Frank? You gonna hook us up?
Oh, hell yeah. Don't bring any of that garbage either.
Malort?
Yes.
That's your stuff. That's not mine.
I know better.
And Michael won't have it with us because
we'll get
doing
kicked
the right
out
thing.
of the moonshine festival and never asked back again.
You never know. I just drink club sodas the whole time. Everyone thinks I'm drinking vodka tonics.
Yeah.
Drunk people don't know when you're not drunk, man. That's the one thing I learned. I can be in a group full of drunk people. I only had anxiety when I didn't have something in my hand. So as long as I'm drinking something, no one bats an eye.
Drop a lime right in the top of there,
Yeah.
and it's like you got a gin and tonic going. It's
Yep.
hey, we're the besties.
Yep.
What do you want to roll with?
Man,
I did put Fatal Affair in.
We could do the one I sent you earlier. We could do Lingering Love just because it's a different aspect of my writing. It's more of like a love breakup song. It's off the EP too.
Okay. This is Lingering Love. You got to lead into it, or is that it?
No. So yeah, it's kind of like everyone's been in one of those relationships that you knew needed to end and it just wouldn't go away. You break up, you get back together. It's kind of what the song's about. So I called it Lingering Love.
Here it goes. Lingering Love, Michael Allen.
How much farther can we kick this can down the road? Drag my feet for so long, burned a hole in my soul. Feels like the words were right on the tip of my tongue, but they get all tied up like a bull on the run. I think we both knew this was coming, 'cause I looked in your eyes, we both started to cry, try to mumble goodbye, we both know that it's time to let this go. Oh no, yes, it's time to let this go. Oh no. I'm waiting till the 11th hour to tell you what's been on my mind. The burden of all love's weight on my shoulders. I don't wanna break your heart, no mine. And I think we both knew this was coming, 'cause I looked in your eyes, we both started to cry, try to mumble goodbye, we both know that it's time to let this go. Oh no, yes, it's time to let this go. Oh no. So if tomorrow never comes, we keep on acting like everything's just fine, tiptoeing around with no emotions, trying to force this love on borrowed time. And I think we both knew this was coming, 'cause I looked in your eyes, we both started to cry, try to mumble goodbye, we both know that it's time to let this go. Oh no, yes, it's time to let this go. Oh no, it's time to let this go. It's time to let this go.
That is Michael Allen, Lingering Love.
That one's so much fun to play live.
Is there I'm getting personal here. Is there a someone you're thinking about when you sing that song?
Yeah, for sure. It's like an old, way back, like high school girlfriend. But everyone had probably one of those relationships in high school where it's like, yeah, this is really bad and we should not be dating, but you just keep dating.
Oh boy.
That would be my second marriage.
So it's relatable. Oh man, that's funny.
Just great information tonight. Great show. I love the connection between you and our guest. It just is absolutely endearing. I'm coming off a high this week, folks. I just Andrea Eichmann has done such an amazing job with Reads Across America, and I did put out a message to all the people that were involved and said, the things that I'm using Michael's word tonight, pivot. That was a word that I got from him, pivot. The changes and what we got done and how we did it and everything because of her leadership and the things that she did. I want to say thank you again, Andrea, for all the stuff you did. And she's the nice person in the room on everything. And there's a time and place for all the pieces. Like my favorite little quote that shows up now these days is, there's people that say great things about me, and there's people that say I'm one of the worst people on the face of the earth. That's not the word they use, but I'm open and realize, yes, I'm that person. Depending on the flavor of the day, what you get. We had some people that I already said this, converted from did not like how we did things is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I had to deal with a colonel. I've done this long enough, and I worked in a headquarters battery, so it was kind of a piece that I learned to be in that space and know we'll have the real talk. And you may not like the result, but it doesn't matter at the end. The result is going to be how this is going to happen. And then the colonel presented me with a coin and at the event, and he's like, I learned more in the last 4 days of this event than I have in the 10 years being involved. And I'm like, I'm glad I could do that for you. I will never walk into a room and say we're perfect. I will never walk in the room and say that we have all the best ideas. That's the best part of how we do our show is it's a collaboration around every corner. And if you're not being transparent and real, and if you have a personal agenda in how this is going to work, then you should not be in the work. Get out. I'll be the first to say it. Get out. If you're willing to listen and work together and be part of something that's bigger than you, you're going to find a ton of success. I already did it. I blew it. That was my final thoughts.
There's your closing.
We're at final thoughts. Frank, roll, buddy.
Huh?
Final thoughts, dog.
All right. I'm going to change it up a little bit with the final thought. There was a time when I would get upset about things like football games and hockey games and everything else, and letting people that were younger than me determine what my outlook was going to be for the day, whether I have a bad day or a good day. Now it's kind of like the Army-Navy game yesterday is a perfect example. It was a hard game. It was a tough game. Both teams played really well. And the team that I was not rooting for wins by 1 point. 10 years ago, I would have had a terrible weekend. I would have been down in the dumps. I would have been looking at things and wondering, how in the heck could we have lost by 1 point? 1 point. No, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the emotional investment. It's not worth being unhappy. I'd rather look at it and say they played well. They just didn't play well enough to win. And that keeps me on an even keel, and it helps me focus on the things that are much more important. And that's how I'm looking at things now. That's how I'm going to look at things now until the day that I pass, whatever God brings me to.
Thank you for sharing. That's good, Frank. Michael, final thoughts.
Man, I'm going to echo a little bit of what Conrad said since he's not here to say it himself, but you have to take care of yourself as an influencer like we're doing, or if you're a leader or a husband or a father, like you are good to absolutely nobody else if you're not taking care of yourself first. And it's not being, like selfish, but your mental and your physical well-being is what's going to keep you around to continue to help others. So I can sit here and talk about it all day, but like, I got to be about it, so get up, do that hard thing, exercise, make that healthy decision, eat a healthy meal, rest, reset, whatever you got to do to be, have that clarity in life, and then go out there and help others like we're all trying to do.
I love it. Thank you, Michael. Miss Eichmann.
What you all said, so self-reflecting, there's some stressful moments, and I don't tend to think that I get stressed very often, but I guess when it builds up, and then is a lot of times I have to sit back. And I'm not going to lie, it was kind of fun to see Peterson go through some of those stressful moments this weekend. And then I could be like, wow, yeah, I did kind of get angry last year when those were new to me. This year, some of them were new to him. And so to be reminded that that was me last year, he got through them as well. But I just want to say, I think I grew because I could look back and we maybe all be like, we get one more email and come on, did you not read that? Did you not read this? Did you not see that? Couldn't you do it? Could you figure it out? And then I'm always telling myself, this is somebody's mom. This is someone's dad or grandpa. This is, when you're putting together Reads Across America and somebody has a question, this is somebody who lost somebody and just wants to do the best for that person. And so I think that fueled my fire this year, just reminding myself every single time, this is a person that lost something and is trying to do something to be close to that person. And gosh, honestly, if we all could just, every time we have a bad thought or we're about to blow up, if we just could think, hey, this is someone's son, mother, grandpa, sister, brother. And maybe it was that attitude. It's weird how a string of cool things have been happening as far as the People's Patriot Project and bringing people into the fold, and Reads Across America, hosting this great big cemetery. I just answered a message during the show. A kid that graduated a couple years ahead of my oldest, I think, is military. And I wondered the first time I got a message if he actually connected. I'm Brendan's mom. And I think he did. And it was his first time going to Reads Across America. And he sent me a note already asking how he could be more involved. And, I don't know. Yes, of course. Obviously, we would love you to be more involved. And so those are the kind of messages that we can fill the cemetery. We really can. We'll get there. We got the volunteers now if we can just bring in the wreaths. So I don't know. That's very focused on Reads Across America and what we just did this weekend. There's so many self-realization pieces in there. And everything's going to come together. It doesn't matter. I didn't even send the motorcycle club guys out with their wreaths until it was actually late. I don't know that they knew that. So Scott, if you're watching, I'm sorry. That was your guys. I sent them out early and I called them back, and then I sent them out late. So either way, it didn't matter. They might be the only ones that knew. So another big thank you to all those volunteers. They really do make the day complete.
Ultimately, I'm trying to figure out how to get the masses involved in we, the people, the country, those that get to. It might be offensive, but I'm going to say skate by without a lot of investment. And again, it's not an attack, it's just the reality. We got people running into burning buildings. We've got people spending and losing parts of themselves, and sometimes their entire self, for the sake of protecting the country and the liberties. And again, some come back and don't come all the way home, and they struggle, and then they find a way to not be here any longer. And it's part of it. There's a piece in the mission this weekend where we talked about keeping an eye on each other. It was cold, but the reality is, I think as a whole, all of us, need to do a better job of looking out for each other. We're going to do another little quick music break, and then we are going to we need to keep an eye out. And you know what? There's vulnerable groups. There's our youth. We need to keep our eyes out for our youth. Lead them, direct them, and give them opportunities. We have our older folk, and I don't know where the line is drawn when it comes to older folk. Andrew's shaking her head. She thinks I'm going to do a shot at her at some point here, but not really. Here's the deal. We are unloading the truck on Friday morning, and there is an 81-year-old Vietnam veteran helping unload wreaths. And as I look around, I'm one of the youngest people in the group. These men came out in -0 degrees to lay honor to those that weren't with us any longer. And it was important. One of them slipped and fell in the truck. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is a piece, whatever. We need to look out for our elderly. It's not that far to be above yourself to just look out for people in general. And that was kind of the talk I had. If you see someone struggling, take a moment. It's not that hard. Find a resource. Find a help. Give some comfort. Walk alongside. Sorry, not sorry. I'm down a screen, so I can't tell you who our guests are next week.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we have Margot Lapointe of Military Kids Retreats next weekend. For sure.
And we need to find a musician because we had one and they were unable to make it. They let us know in advance, and we just getting in that time of year where it's hard to get people. They're busy. So we appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you for the WP3 team for all the work you do. Thank you, Michael, for being here. Thank you for our guest, Conrad Weaver with PTSD 911 movie. Thank you, Frank, for being here. Andrea, for being here. Thank you for all those who came out for Reads Across America. We are blessed, folks. Find your blessing. Be a little uncomfortable. And let's continue to grow. Patriot pride. Michael, if you got a chance to hang around, we'll chat a little bit.
For sure, man. Yeah.